He serves me correct, he's a former under-23 world champion from Latvia in this event. Mark Kovacs from Hungary was good this morning, and the Georgian Kavalashvili was really good in Szeged. He finished third, I think, in the K1 200 final in Szeged, so I think he actually finished ahead of Peter Mennінг, who was fourth in that race. So that'll be a good race between lanes 4 and 5. The Ukrainians, it's always a bit of a question mark because we don't know what they're bringing because we haven't seen them this year. But they're obviously looking in good form. So there he is, the he's not in this. Yes, he is. That's Alexander Yatsev from Ukraine. And there's the Georgian there, looking very serious. They always look threatening, don't they? The black boats and the black tops, and the black hats and the black glasses.
Yeah, I saw him on my start list for the 500 meter. I don't think he actually pulled through to the start line because he's obviously focused on this.
Well, can I say, Stuart, given that you ended up in the wrong lane, he looks like the sort of guy you don't want to get in his lane.
Yeah, he would have been in lane 2 where I finished up. So glad he sat that one out.
You could have hooked on behind him and got a bit of a toe to the finish, maybe. Because once your rudder goes, you basically lose control completely, don't you?
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, you only have to go in a straight line for 500 meters. You'd hope that your rudder would stay straight, but as soon as it's hooked a little bit left or a little bit right, there's not much you can do. Try leaning, but then you have no leg drive, and it really can affect your race.
Yeah. So back to the drawing boards. Are you going to Europeans, or what's the plan for
we head back for another selection in July for the World Championship. So that's sort of the focus now. I guess that most of the guys who went to the World Cup 1 have been focusing on that regatta, and we've sent a slightly smaller team to this one.
Yep.
So yeah, back to the drawing board for July.
A lot of competition in GB, I'm sure, as there are with most countries now. There are only limited spaces available, aren't there, on those World Championship teams? To get yourself a start list there, or a position on the start list, you've got to work very, very hard. The Portuguese paddler Bebiano was good this morning. He was very fast. Well, it goes without saying, really. It's a 200-meter race. They should be fast. You'd expect them to be fast. Schmidt from Slovenia, he was good. Maybe might find it a bit tough, especially in lane 9. But 200-meter races, anything can happen.
Yeah, looks like the wind's picked up slightly in the last couple of minutes, so we'll see how they deal with that. I'm not sure if there's sort of a preferred lane. Looks like it's blowing a little bit across, but still not too strong.
That's Peter Mennінг. Peter Mennінg. He and Kavalashvili will be the two favourites, and Akmen's. I'm expecting lanes 4, 5 and 6 to be where most of the action is in this race. The Georgian Kavalashvili is in the all-black. Next to him is the Swede Mennінг, and then on the other side, and then closest to the camera, lane number 6, Akmen's from Latvia. So they are your big three. Don't discount the Hungarian. Don't also rule out the Korean, who was surprisingly fast this morning and got himself into the final. So we're hoping he will put together a forward showing. But they're in the starters' hands now for the men's K1 200 final. Just trying to get them into the starting cup. And we're underway in this men's K1 200 final. Good start from Робертс from Latvia. There we go. He really flew out of the start, as did the Georgian Kavalashvili. So there we go. And it's Akmen's who's really gone out hard. Wow, he has put down some pretty big strokes early on to clear out in a 200-meter race. That is a very good lead early on. Wow, incredible early speed. Kovacs from Hungary trying to go with him. Mennінг trying to pick his way through now. Kavalashvili looks like he's fallen off the pace a little bit. A bit too fast for him earlier on. But it's Akmen's and Mennінг. Akmen's and Mennінg. Akmen's holds on. Wow. He went out hard and held it right through to the end. That is a very good race from the young man from Latvia. He'd be pretty happy about that. Knocking off someone of the likes of Peter Mennінг in a very powerful race. Gee, he was quick early, wasn't he?
Really impressive. It looks like he even had a little bit of a wobble sort of halfway through, but he managed to hold on and pull out a massive lead at the start. Good to see the Ukrainians winning another medal there, I think, in third.
Yep. I mean, that is, for a 200-meter race, to get out that fast, I called him fast out of the blocks. He looked really good in the first 25 metres. By the halfway stage, look at that, he had a commanding lead already over the rest of the field. Kavalishvili from Georgia was there with him at that stage, but he fell away towards the end, just found that pace a little bit too tough. Peter Mennінг fought hard, really was making up some ground at the end when the Latvian was starting to tighten up, but in the end the lead was strong enough. Mennінг second, and yes, it does look like it is the Ukrainian ZAYCEV who takes another medal for the Ukrainian nation. Well done to Робертс, Акменс from Latvia, and great to see, isn't it, Stuart, that you know, we all know the powerhouse nations around the world when it comes to canoe sprint, the ones that you always expect to do well, but it's good to see the countries like Latvia coming through and picking up gold medals.
Yeah, there's always a good mix of nations in the 200 meter, so it's good to see the gold medals changing hands so frequently.
If my memory serves me correct, he doesn't mind a chat, Робертс Акменс, so when he eventually gets into the pontoon, I'll be very interested to hear what he has to say. But, good result for Latvia. Not sure if he has got a K2 boat or what his focus is long term, whether it's 1,000, but he's definitely a sprinter.
Hello.
So here we go. Let's see what Робертс Акменс has to say.
What are your? How do you feel about this race?
Good. Winning is also always very good. Yeah, overall, I managed to do good start and just hold till the end because Peter was coming very fast at the end, close. But yeah, it's nice. Always a fun thing to do.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly right. It was the start that won it for him. He was out of the block so fast, and look there. In the end, 0.14 of a second, Mennінг back, but had too much to work to do in the second half of the race, and the Ukrainian ZAYCEV, Kavalishvili, who